Heavyweight Championship of the World, sanctioned by the IBF, IBO, and WBO, and governed by the DVD. At ringside, Hasim Rahman, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko.
I want a good, clean.
And as the bell rings, Wladimir Klitschko looks even more buffed and muscular than has previously been the case. Hasim Rahman at 253, and despite a questionable training camp, looks pretty good. I would have to say, Lennox, that Wladimir has improved.
He's bent down low, he's got good position, good balance right now. He's looking to get underneath, looking for some opening, but...
And lands that, backing Rahman up. Rahman acknowledged that Klitschko, and he's beginning to land it now. Klitschko has threatened records for CompuBox numbers on jabs in many recent fights, most particularly against Layman Brewster, when he landed, might have threatened all records for all weight classes.
Rahman is leaving himself very wide open right now for that left hook. Every time he throws that jab, he puts that right hand somewhere by his waist. I don't know.
You had a great one and didn't use it all that much.
I think it's a great punch, but you know, something has to come before.
Led with the left hook.
The old axiom is you don't want to hook with a hooker, because if he has a better one than you and it lands first, the fight can end. And I think Rahman knows Vladimir's got a better left hook than him, but you do want to jab with a jabber, because a jab is unlikely to end a fight. But you can disrupt your opponent's...
When I threw my right hand, he put out both of his hands at the same time and didn't have no hand back to block a right hand.
No, stop. Come on, watch the back of the head. Here we go.
Wladimir Klitschko said that he was very careful to watch only tapes of the good Rahman, watching the best Rahman performances. But he did acknowledge that he watched the second Rahman-Moskaev fight, in which Oleg Moskaev was able to land his left hook with amazing regularity.
I got you.
And of course, everyone in the division 2001, Lennox.
Let me tell you, that was right before Christmas, and I had...
The Rock was not able to get his offense going as Wladimir Klitschko, as has so customarily been the case, dominated the round with his jab.
That's the wills. The question is, will that
Klitschko's opponents tend to complain that he holds, and it certainly is no...
One position and let Wladimir Klitschko set him up for that right hand, because he's like a sitting target, if that's the case.
Stop. Come on, watch that back in the head.
Referee Tony Weeks handled De La Hoya and Pacquiao last week and made the trip over to be here for this big fight as well.
Stop.
Now,
Keep your head up.
I know in the corner of Wladimir, Emmanuel Stewart's going to tell him that to throw that uppercut, because he's been ducking right every time Wladimir throws a jab. Rahman ducks, so that would be a good setup for a jab, uppercut, left hook.
The uppercut is a punch that Wladimir has been reluctant to throw sometimes, though he landed a couple good ones against Tony Thompson in his...
There again, Rahman standing in one position, and he's looking to work off of that, but whether he has enough speed and power to do that is the question.
In the early part of the round, Rahman, who tastes a right hand there, got to Vladimir's chest about 5 times, but wasn't really the advantages belong to Klitschko.
Rahman cannot afford to be hit by that right.
What's in that time? And listen, keep your hands a little tight.
2 examples of Klitschko setting up the right hand, and let me hit by too many of these in this fight. I mean, they're really showing their...
Box numbers through 2 rounds. Wladimir Klitschko has landed 34 jabs. Hasim Rahman has landed just 12 total punches. Nothing of any real significance so far. So 2 technically pure rounds for Klitschko. And as Lennox Lewis keeps pointing out, the danger is there that a big right hand... Klitschko fending Rahman off with the left, keeping him at bay.
Let him up.
And this time it's Rock who reaches out and clinches Wladimir as they come together. He swept a right hand behind Rahman's guard much like the right hand with which you knocked Rahman.
Because all it's doing is damage, and you know a right hand's coming soon.
Well, if it's a strategy at all, it's a desperate one early in the fight from Hasim Rahman.
You see, if I was Wladimir, you know, get Rahman to keep his hands down, throw some different type of punches that are in your arsenal, or and give him something else to think about.
Rahman pointed out that at 6 feet 7 inches tall, Wladimir doesn't really.
Wladimir, which is very effective.
Third round 10-9 because really it could have been a 10-8 round. Wladimir won it so big. I mean, you just can't do the rope dope against Wladimir Klitschko. He'll kill you. Wladimir landing, piling up points with that left jab, coming across with the real good right hands, just doing a number on Rahman so far. 3-0. Klitschko based on clean punching.
What we're watching here is the best heavyweight. We're seeing a wide distance between Wladimir and that non-up.
And, you know, I believe that Rahman's still fighting the fight wrong. He needs to put a little more pressure on him. He needs to try and get in there and hit him with some shots, which is not easy because he's trying to duck under the jab. But when Wladimir to tire himself, so he'll be able to throw one great punch in there. And this is what he feels that may happen in the fight. But right now he's getting tagged with a lot of shots, which is taking a lot of energy out of him. So whether he's going to have a lot of strength left to be able to throw that big shot is the question.
Lehman Brewster.
Such are the pitfalls of being the king of the hill. His numbers on jabs so far in the fight. Klitschko 89 bites in the corner between rounds, but of 53 previous Rahman fights, Buddy trained him for only 1. So it's really a shot in the dark as to whether he's going to hear Buddy's good instructions tonight.
It's true. Buddy should give him some defensive advice as well and tell him to keep up that right hand, because I can see a left hook right hand coming from Klitschko.
There's the left hook. There's the double left hook. And the straight right hand behind it. Good call, champ.
Jim, you mentioned a shot in the dark, and Lennox, you mentioned it off the top of the broadcast, and that's really what
Say he doesn't have enough. He's not in good enough shape to be able to do it because he's not quick enough on his feet right now to be able to catch him.
Before Buddy stopped that fight, the rematch.
So it would appear to Hasim Rahman.
Well, I'd just like to add, I knocked Rahman out in 4 rounds. And this is the 5th round, and Rahman was at his best.
Good observation.
I think some people can form an opinion after watching this fight.
Well, what you're saying is you formed an opinion.
Yes, I have.
Moving, keep that pressure on him.
Absolutely.
Right? Don't stand on the outside.
One slight assistance to Rahman that's taking place here is that between rounds periods are longer than a minute. They've been averaging about a minute 10, a minute 15, which means, and it doesn't mean a lot, but it means that Rahman's getting an extra 10 or 15 seconds between rounds to recover. And recovery may no longer be an option as he goes down for the first time on a left-right combination.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me. You okay? All right, I'm gonna give you a chance.
He still looks a bit unstable on his feet, and that punch did hurt him, whether it was a hard punch or not, but it did kind of give him a little bit of cobwebs.
Well, to me, it looks like he's both hurt and exhausted. His legs are going away, whether from the accumulated punishment or the absence of conditioning, or both.
I've never seen Rahman have the fight beaten out of him like this. Even in his losses, he's fought on until the end, and he's been systematically taken apart, and it seems his will to fight on has indeed been broken.
He's never been in the fight even for a second.
Yeah, well, this is an opportunity for him. You know, they said to Rahman, here's a fight, here's an opportunity, here's a date. Can you make it? 3 weeks to train? You know, I would never have taken a fight on 3 weeks to train. Maybe 16 days.
Talking earlier about the difference between you and Wladimir, Lennox, it seems to me that the real difference people see with power is that you were tough. When you were knocked down, you tried your best to go on. You won some very tough fights over some great fighters. Do you think Wladimir is tough enough? He's not being forced to show evidence of it here, but do you think he's tough enough to one day be recognized as a great fighter?
Yeah, I mean, he's tough now. What he needs to be doing right now, I mean, he's throwing the jab, but he's throwing just 2 different punches. Jab, left hook, right hand. There's no uppercuts, there's no body punches. Now, this is what people want to see. Want to see true boxing. They're only seeing left hands and right hands and left hooks. But there's uppercuts, there's body punches, there's different combination punches which he should be throwing.
He's known as a cerebral fighter. Are you saying he's not putting the pedal to the metal when he needs to?
Well, I believe that he holds back a little bit too much, where he should really let loose a bit more. Like in this position, he should take his right foot, step over to the side, and start punching from the right side.
In round 6.
Okay? All right, man, listen. Let's go ahead.
Was at least a 10-8 round. Wladimir Klitschko was 28 of 68 by CompuBox count in the round, and has
certainly it could have got to 10-7 he won it so big. Be as it may, 6-0, Wladimir Klitschko.
Now Rahman wobbles again after another left-right combination. You heard referee Tony Weeks warning Rahman he won't be allowed to continue to take sustained punishment. And here it is. This is over, baby. This is done. And Wladimir Klitschko, Tony Weeks to step in and protect Hasim Rahman by stopping the fight.
Well, Rahman's got these punches, and he's thrown a lot of different punches, but I'm talking Wladimir. And, you know, the ref didn't want to see any more punishment because there was no way that Rahman could have won this fight. And he looked very tired. He went over to talk to him in the corner, and Rahman couldn't even hardly say a word. He was definitely tired.
You told us, and to be honest with you, I was expecting the corner giving up earlier.
You looked in your upper body at least.